militarily or we will mount pressure on the government to remove you. This is the call of the minority in Parliament on the Communications Minister Samuel Nartey George, accusing him of inconsistency in the ongoing standoff with MultiChoice over DSTV subscription charges. Addressing the media in Parliament, earlier today, Member of Parliament for Iberian and Deputy Ranking on Parliament Communications Committee Charles Oredu questioned the U-turn and the minister's stance on the matter. Grace Hamo-Ajiman has more in this report.
Since August 2025, the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Sam George, has been advocating for a 30% reduction in DSTV fees. He argued that the significant price disparity between the premium bouquet, which costs $83 in Ghana, compared to just $29 in Nigeria, was a short change for Ghanaian subscribers. But a recent package upgrade announcement by the minister has moved the minority to question the minister's stance on the upgraded packages instead of cutting prices. They want the minister to apologize to the nation.
For this display of ineptitude, incompetence, and penchant for deceit, we of the minority demand that 1. The minister render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians for the waste of the nation's time and resources on this venture. We call on him to account for the fines levied on DSTV. We deem him unfit to continue as the minister for this strategic ministry of communication, digital technology, and innovation, and therefore call on him to resign or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
The side is recommending to government to create a favorable environment for private businesses to thrive and for customer benefit.
What you need to do is not forcing them to reduce, because DSTV has also come out to tell you that cumulatively they pay taxes close to 28%. They pay VAT 15%. They pay Get Fund 2.5%. They pay NHIS 2.5%. They pay CST, Communication Service Tax, 5%. Then they also pay 3% on the decoders they import. So, 28%. In the case of Nigeria, it's only 7.5% that they pay to the government of Nigeria. So you see the disparity. So there is no way you can get them to reduce the price out to the levels of the Nigerian market. It's not possible.
And so for them, this is not the end of it. They are going to mount pressure on government, indulge in other advocacy activities to ensure that Ghanaians or subscribers get value for money for what they pay. Grace Hamo-Ajiman, 3FM News, Accra.
And so that's quite a controversial subject, still in the trends on social media, and many of you are still sharing your thoughts on it, and we're happy that you actually have the opportunity to let us know what you think of this DSTV communications minister debacle and the back and forth it has generated. Away from that, tomorrow, President John Dramani Mahama will be meeting almost 50, probably over 50 civil society organizations on the issue of Galamsey, to see how collectively we all as a country can nip this canker in the bud. Now, over 50 civil society organizations are set to meet President Mahama tomorrow to discuss the illegal mining menace. The meeting will include religious bodies such as the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Ghana Muslim Mission, and the Office of the Chief Imam. Civil society groups expected to attend are the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, Eco-Conscious Citizens, etc. Professional bodies such as the Ghana Bar Association, the Law Society of Ghana, the African Women Lawyers Association, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, the Ghana Chamber of Mines have also been invited. On the list as well, we have student bodies, including the Ghana National Union of Ghana Students, other organizations like the Institute for Democratic Governance and the Center for Democratic Development, and Send Ghana and Imani Africa, etc. It's a long list of individuals expected to meet the president, and we all look forward to how that interaction will go. But Franklin Kujo, who is the president of Imani Africa, is on the line. He's joined us for a quick chat on this. Mr. Kujo, good evening. Thank you for joining us on 3FM.
Oh, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. To start with, I'm sure you're looking forward to tomorrow's meeting. What have you been thinking about since the invitation came? And Claire, my question is premised on the fact that there had been so many people asking for a declaration of a state of emergency. Now the president says, I cannot do that now, but has gone forward to say, okay, all the active voices calling for a declaration of a state of emergency, let's meet and chat about this. What has your thinking been ahead of this meeting tomorrow?
Well, so first of all, I think we needed to get some sort of an agenda. I was definitely thinking that this meeting should necessarily be the final meeting, especially on this subject, as far as CSOs and the executive is concerned. I think it is important to say that, look, we now need to move from here, from talking to action. And I do believe that tomorrow's interaction would yield exactly that. I mean, some of us have spoken amongst ourselves, and we seem to have a plan, actually have a good plan as to how we think the meeting should go. Of course, we will be happy to hear what the president and the responsible minister will say, but we also have some good responses we want to give. The responses based rooted in reality and practical and pragmatic. So I am sure that tomorrow we will definitely give our due and then ensure that the last time this matter will be put to rest. Because, quite frankly, what is going on? I mean, it's just a travesty. It's sad. I mean, and I think we all need to quickly not mobilize and get this thing sorted. I don't think one person can do that, but we really need to. I agree to the extent that the idea of a declaration of state of emergency across the country, frankly, it may sound like a sensible thing, but in eyes of a rig, I mean, I don't think people decode in my hometown. What was the point in making sure that they go to bed at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. and then wake around 6 a.m.? It doesn't make sense. I think it is important that the targeted areas that the President suggested are the ones to be cleared. And in that regard, it means that if I request that, of course, what it means that probably have a bit more resources to fight it, because there are so many people that are using it, and I think it is important that we restructure exactly how people who have been, should I say, employed or appointed to fight the menace one way or the other, whether it's blue water ocean or whatever. I think clearly we need to get these people some sustainable, some I don't know, how should I say? I mean, some level of confidence that they say that, look, we want to struggle and say that we have sustainable life. And I think those questions are really important. Otherwise, tomorrow we expect to see. I personally expect to see the Minister for Environment give us an update of where we were before they came to power, what he's done between January to now, and what the results are looking like. Then we go forward, and the next one will ask us, okay, now we've come here to discuss and make suggestions. What do you know? We want to see action. So every month you can give an update. You don't need to come here. We have to have an update. You can be on TV and listen. Otherwise, for me, if I don't see action the next month, then I may not attend any.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's where, well, that's another aspect of this, where several meetings have been held, symposia, conferences, seminars, etc. on this, but it looks as though this is the first such meeting that the president himself is convening, and to the extent that we've lost lives not the many that have already been lost in communities, many of them unheard of, unknown individuals, but to the extent that nationally we have all had to mourn the loss of some individuals, calls for critical action. But you also gave indications that you are hoping that this is not just another talk shop and that some concrete action be seen. How about the role of communities? These communities where these activities happen, per the list I've seen or the invited institutions, do you think we could have found a way to engage maybe traditional leaders or opinion leaders in some of these communities? Because they are living the everyday experience of the Galamsey activities, no?
Well, I think it is most likely. I'm not confirming, but it is most likely that the president would meet those interested groups as well. So, rest assured. I think it's a very important point to make because that's where the Galamsey is from. If you're a king and a chief, and people are just digging holes around you, all of a sudden, they start digging holes around you, and then you realize that you have no control, you have no land. So I think I'm sure there are plans to meet all these various interested bodies as well. So let's hope for the best.
Right. Okay. We are all anticipating what tomorrow will bring. So we'll leave it here and probably talk to you after the meeting.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Franklin Cudjoe is president of Imani Africa, and his institution, that is Imani Africa, is one of the about 50 CSOs that have been invited by President John Mahama so they can jaw on how to deal with the illegal mining menace, which has left several of our citizens dead, many children with all sorts of medical conditions, and the fact that water, what we all need on a daily basis, we are likely to start importing water into the country. Is a major concern that we all need to be worried about. And the fact that in the last few days or so, we have also been told that food items we consume, although we are far away in Accra, most of our food items come from the hinterland, the other regions where these Galamsey activities are rife. So if those food items are already heavily contaminated, then it means that you think you are far away from the problem, but the problem is right on the plate in front of you. So we need to see concrete action. And tomorrow we'll try and keep very close ears on how the conversation will go with the president and update you so that you can also be a part of this national clarion call for a fight against illegal mining. This is 3FM 92.7. You're listening to Hot Edition, and I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey. Let's go on to some other stories now, still quite related to Galamsey issues. Earlier today, we had the tragic report of a mining pit that collapsed in Kasotie, in the Ikrimampunya district of the Ashanti region. And we are told that the mine collapse has claimed about 5 lives, and some persons probably are still being rescued. The incident happened Wednesday night. Rescue teams led by NADMA with support from local volunteers managed to pull 8 others out of the pit alive. The survivors are receiving treatment at the Nyinahini Government Hospital, and rescue efforts are still ongoing. And it looks as though this is a very, very disturbing issue. Well, these individuals went out to undertake their regular everyday mining, which from all indications was an illegal activity. And if you are doubting what we are saying, just log on to our Facebook page and you would see the visuals of what exactly happened in the area where these individuals have been mining illegally. Unfortunately for them, and some would say fortunately for the country, the pit collapsed, and those that were trapped in it, 5 of them were pulled out, but they had died as a result of suffocation in the pit. 8 of them managed to survive. They've been rushed to the hospital and they are getting treatment. But the big concern is, what exactly is it that they are not hearing or seeing, for which reason they still continue to engage in this illegal activity? And we just indicated that the President of the Republic is calling for a meeting, because this has been a conversation over the last 5 to 7 years about the incessant nature of illegal mining activities. But it looks like now, although people are losing their lives, they are still bent on ensuring that they undertake or continue this activity. And 5 people have died. They were trapped in a pit. 8 have survived. So we'll try and see if we can speak to our correspondent to get some further perspectives on this. While we wait for that, let's go on to some other stories now. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has today sworn in